Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video. This is the F111. We're just going to kind of take a look at it. We'll see some liveries, see the stats of it. I think it goes Mach 2, and it gets up to about 60,000 feet. I did take it for a test flight yesterday. It is pretty impressive piece of machinery. I got up to 120,000 feet, which yeah, it's not meant for that, but I wanted to test the limitations of it out. We're going to try that today, and we'll do a little bit of a flight and bring it back around and land it. But here it is, and it's pretty beautiful, pretty cool. I definitely like it. It's priced a little bit high, but still worth it. I think it was $39.99 in the stream or in the sim marketplace, but I wound up paying with taxes $43 for it. However, totally worth the money. Pretty cool. It also has a couple cool features which we'll get into in the video when we're flying it. I'm going to show you how to do a fuel dump burn. You have some navigation charts here which you can put in with these radios, and you can actually put multiple different ones in for your waypoints for your navigation on your radios. Of course, you have your other chart here and your comm chart, and I believe there's what else is there here? I think that's your bomb package, which is like I guess your different configurations of what you want to put on board. So that's pretty cool. And setup. So taxi, cold and dark, whatever you may want to configure for your flight. If you want to just get started without pressing all the buttons. But today we're going to start it up pressing the buttons and using the checklist, which it does actually work. There's a checklist here. You can do a pre-flight inspection, which we'll do real quick before we do a startup. And I'll just go over a couple things with you here. We have the hut. You have your fire test system here. We have our canopy on each side that opens, which is a pretty cool feature too. This whole canopy in the F111 will eject with both pilots in. It has a humongous jet propel in the back. It's not recommended. However, this does have structural failures from time to time. Even with one that only had about, like, I think 11 hours on it, if I'm right. They had a failure in one wing, and the wing completely came off. So there was a couple setbacks with this aircraft. It's I think a World War II, and it's meant right here. It has capabilities of low flight to track radar. It could fly really low and fast, so that radar doesn't pick it up. And it is also it could also fly really high, and it does have covers inside the cabin and on the exterior, where the B model does. This one doesn't. It's not modeled here, but there should be where you could put up this and make it blacked out, and also in the canopy. So if you did drop a nuclear weapon, which is right here, and there would be a coded thing as well. Once you put in your code, I believe it might even be here. We'll have to double check it. But there was in the real one code here, and then there's a key here on each side to confirm for nuclear bomb testing. However, in this one, it doesn't look like it's demonstrated. But that was one of the purposes for this aircraft. It does have a tail hook, which is to land on aircraft carriers as well, which we probably need hydraulic pressure for that to come out and in. And of course the bomb bay doors, which are under here. And I think we need to put the plane on for us to be able to see that. I believe they're right here. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to put the plane on and be able to see that. So let's go ahead and get it started up, and then we'll go over some more of the features with it. So that is set to normal. That is going to be set to, okay, if I can just, let's try that again. Boom. Boom. Okay. That's set to norm. Or, oh, I'm sorry, off for now. This is set to auto, which is set. And this is your flap lever. We can have them up, or now they're down because the hydraulic pressure is not inside the wings. And this is going to be your flap wing sweep here. So you can turn it on for lock for now until we get up in the air. And then once we get up in the air, we can take it back off and slide it. It has, you know, the cruising speed for tactical, and then all the way back for afterburners when you want to get into the Mach speeds. So right now we'll just make sure the fuel system is cut off, and then you have your ground spoilers, which are, where are our ground spoilers? Right there, I guess. Button is off. Okay. Anti-skid is off, so ground spoiler and anti-skid is off for now. Landing lights are off. These are your other lights. This can go to, I think this is for your hut, so we'll put that in a second here. And this is to cage position, which is on. Also, you have a lighting panel back here. This is mostly your internal and external lighting for the cabin, which I'll show you the way it looks like at night. This thing is really nice looking, and it's as you can see, with all the analog gauges, this is analog heaven for some pilots. I love it. I think it's a really unique aircraft. That's your pitot heat, which is off currently. Your navigation, which we set to nav for now. Pitot heat is off. We checked that. This is on auto and checked. And these are, you have your regular radios and standby radio comm. And then these are some of your, this is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated. This is, you know, your ground tracking. I forget exactly what this panel is. Change up set. You know, this is, I think this is something to do more with, like, your navigational for tracking. And I'm not 100% sure about this area. It's a lot of, it's a lot to learn. It's mostly your navigational track, I think, for your GPS. Of course, here you got your gyro, which will be active once we go. You have your altimeter, which we can set right now, 3017, and your Mach speeds, which will also be able to tell you your altitude over here and your Mach speeds and all that stuff. So right now it's at 0, so this is our height, and then we'll have our knots over here, our Mach speed, and our altitude, height, and all that stuff. So we'll be able to tell how fast we're going, where we're going. These are your flight surfaces controls for, I think, your flaps, which you won't be able to see until it's pumping through. But we'll get these started, and then I'll show you that too as well. But it's pretty cool. I mean, this is a really neat aircraft, guys. I mean, I like it a lot. I think it's really well made. You know, the sounds are not the best, which you'll hear here in a second. But you never know, maybe they'll step that up. They do, you know, it just came out. This is your fuel dump, which we'll be using to show you a little party trick of this aircraft, which is pretty cool. Let's continue on. Alright, that is supposed to be set to off for now, but we're going to leave it on because we got to put it on anyway. Those are set to normal. Those are off for now, and master is there. Code is off. These are going to go to the run position because we're about to get started here. This is off, auto, select, and of course this is on. So if you go hover over, it will tell you it's on. And these go to both. There we go. That goes to normal, which it already is set to. So a lot of it's pre-selected in the right position, which is helpful to us. And but it does have a sense of checklist that kind of gives you an idea of what you need to do before starting the aircraft and all that stuff. So, all right, let's go to starting up the engines. All right, here we go. That is good. Let's see. These are going to be selected to auto. And now we're going to turn the batteries on. Now, it doesn't show you, but you need to turn this on as well, your external. So external, and then battery. Both of these have to be on or the plane won't start. If you just turn on the battery, you're gonna have an issue. You got to make sure you put that on as well. All right, so crossfeed is checked on. We already did that. Remember I told you I was leaving those two on. And of course, ground, which goes down. And then these are going to go to idle. And then we're going to start. So we'll go ahead to the starter here, and we'll go start. And we'll check it. You'll see it rising up here on both sides. Pretty cool aircraft. See, the hydraulics is coming up now, so the wings, the back wings are coming up, which is good. That's when we'll see the flight control surfaces starting to work here. All right, let's go ahead and check. All right, here we go. That's coming up. That's good. Hydraulics and checking everything here. Pretty cool sounds too. I like the sounds. All right, let's go ahead and close these up here. It does change as you close them. Alright, so engine is started on that side, check. Now we do the next one. Flight idle, start. Once we hit the starter, it will jump back to the position, and now we can wait for that to rise up. Gas temperature rising. Waiting for this to come up here. All right. We'll continue on here. There it goes. It's coming up. All right, check. That goes back to auto. Check. After startup. So after startup, we'll go ahead and put on our lights here. I'm going to show you what all these lights look like. We can put on navigation and beacon. We'll just go ahead and put all these lights on so you guys can see what they look like. Anti-skid's coming on. Check. Test. Light check test. Alright, anti-skid. These are your weapons systems ready to go. Oxygen on, check. For your cabins. So this is your cabinization pressure system back here. So I was looking for this before. There's your fire test is up here. There we go. This goes to whatever one you want to put it on, I guess. This one's 80 feet. Oil test on and check. These are your fuel checked. Standby checked. Takeoff sweep is out. So you want this all the way out. Right now it's fine. It's fully forward. And these are on and locked. Trim is supposed to be on. It's not working. I don't know why. That's your fuel dump, which is off, and your roll. Alright, check. Flaps are going to be set for 10 for takeoff here. That's condition is off. Alright, no caution lights. We can set this on as well to analog. And this goes to on for ground tracking. Goes set to auto. Alright, so it's really good if you don't understand how to use this. You got a lot of information here, and it's a lot to learn, but it's definitely useful. Alright, so this goes to T and R, and this goes to standby. ILS power goes on here. These are your ILS radios. You can set your frequency for. Standby van is set to on. Condition lights we already put on. And this goes to standby. Actually, I just put it to flash for now. Nose wheel. Okay, so your nose wheel steering. This airplane has nose wheel steering. It's this button right here. So you're just going to go straight until you press it. Once you press it on, you'll be able to move the nose wheel and be able to steer the aircraft on the ground. If you don't turn that off, you won't be able to. Alright, so we're closed up. This is your taxi and landing light. We need our taxi light on here. We'll just keep your landing light on for now. And anti-skid is on and checked. FIR codes are set, so that is checked. Flight instruments are checked, as you can see here. Ground park is checked, and afterburners is checked. Alright, so let's get started. We're good to go. Let's go ahead and fly this aircraft, and I'll show you a little bit of cool things that the F-111 does. Let's turn the brakes off here. So as you know, the F-111 is a really, let's see, pretty cool aircraft here. We have the tail. That's the landing gear here. That's our parking brake there. Just kind of familiarizing myself. Alright, so inside we should be able to see the lever. This is your landing surface lever here for your flaps. When your flaps are down or up, you can tell right here. Alright, so let's go. Let's go fly this baby and see how it goes. Enough talking, right? Let's get a look at it at night real quick here. It's a little bit squirrely on the ground, but it's not too bad. It handles relatively well. Let me just stop for a second here. Let me turn on these lights. Let's put them full blast here. Let's see. Oh no, that's the red light, so if you guys want it lit up in red or... okay, so that's cool. There we go. For the best lighting. Wait, I missed one. These are supposed to be lit up too. Oh, there they go. There, it looks... It's relatively nice looking, even at night. It's pretty awesome. I mean, look how crazy this looks, right? Alright, let's go back to the daytime here, and let's... I'll show you a cool trick here. In the daytime and the night. Alright, let's go. I'm going to show you a little air trick with this airplane. Alright. Let's get back inside. Alright, here we go, guys. I want to put full afterburners on. And check this out. Once we get it airborne here, see this little red button? Watch this. How about that for a thumbnail? Yeah. So that's your fuel dump burn. And if you want to see what that looks like at night, I'll show you. Watch this. Check this out, guys. How crazy would that be to see at night? Alright, fuel burn off. Now we'll take it up to height. And now for the next party trick. pull this lever back. Why is it not working? We're supposed to get this thing back here. I'm not sure why it's not going all the way back here. Maybe you have to be on an afterburner for it to work. That's the first time I ever had a problem with it getting stuck here. Interesting. Yeah, it seems to be getting stuck, which is kind of interesting. It's supposed to go all the way back here. Oh, that's why. So your flaps have to go all the way up for it to come all the way back. Now that we have wings there, put the burners back on here. That's how you put it into the nacho position. Really cool. And here we go. 25,000 feet. We're just going into Mach speeds now. It does have the sonic boom feature inside. So once we get up there in the higher levels, it gets a lot more quieter. Still noisy inside the cabin, but on the outside, as you can hear, unless you're behind it. And look how beautiful is that, right? With the the engines going like that. Absolutely beautiful. And let's see what it looks like at night. Here's our altitude, 38, 39,000, 40,000 coming up on. Full afterburners on. Flying into the sunset. Beautiful aircraft indeed, guys. Very smooth handling. Really easy going on the controls. Everything works really well. I don't have any issues or complaints. It feels great in the air. On the ground, it's a little bit squirrely, but pretty good. Everything else seems to be great on it. Let's try to get this thing up to 60,000 feet. And then we'll see how high we can go. Do a little bit of an altitude test with it. It's pretty wild, this aircraft here. Just going to start circling because I don't want to get too far away from our airport here. This thing does go pretty fast, so you want to keep this up sometimes just to see where you're going. So we're going to be landing back over here. eventually where we took off from, which was Las Vegas. That's 50,000 feet. When you're climbing, you want to keep the wings as level as possible with this type of aircraft, which will slow your rate of turn, and we want to turn back. I don't want to get too far from Las Vegas, so let's just try to gain some altitude, and then we'll turn back towards Vegas. Crazy looking aircraft, right? I love it. I'm not a big jet pilot or fighter jet type of guy, but I can get into it. This is a really cool history on this aircraft. It just had a lot of failures with the wing, which kind of was not good. That's 55,000 feet. So max altitude is 60,000. We're almost there. And let's set the altimeter. And we're going to continue to climb with this aircraft. We're doing about 0.9 G's up. Mach 1.12. Once we get above 100,000 feet, man, this thing starts climbing even crazier. Which hopefully you'll be able to see here in a minute. That's what it looks like from the inside. 57,000. Let's go ahead and straighten out and pull up. Let's just go straight up with it now. Vegas is over there. We're gonna be up in space soon, guys. Incredible, this aircraft really is. And coming up on 60, there's 60 right there. So we're just gonna keep going here for a minute. We'll go we'll level out here. It does have an autopilot, which is right over here. Here's your autopilot system for pitch and roll. If you want to turn that on, you can. That's up to you. $62,000. So in a I'll probably do a live stream with this. I'll do a live stream with this in the future so we can get it up to max altitude. But we went to max altitude for 60,000 feet, which is the ceiling level of this aircraft. But to keep this video relatively short, we're going to leave it at that. And in a live stream, I'll try to test the limitations of going as high as I can. I'm going to turn back to Vegas and try to land this thing and see how that goes. But overall, my opinions, thought of this aircraft, I don't know a lot about it. I just knew pretty much the little things that I told you here. I think it's an amazing aircraft, well worth the money. I didn't see a lot of people do reviews on it, so I thought it would be cool to come on here and try to give you guys a little bit of a first look or something like that. So I do love it, though. I think it's awesome, and I'll probably do a better review later on once I learn more about it. So just kind of a little bit of a sneak peek of this aircraft and what it has in case you're thinking about buying it and you're not sure. Maybe it will give you a little bit more insight to what it's capable of. It does have autopilot, and it is functional, and it does work. Like, I just put it on and it's working. So I turned it back off now for the rest of this video. We're gonna land by hand back in Vegas here. So we're just gonna take the afterburners off and we'll turn back towards Vegas. And once we get slowed to about 300 knots, I'll fold out the wings and we'll get back on track with that, and we'll come in for a landing here. Really awesome aircraft. That's us right there. It is capable of ILS approaches as well. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm still learning about the aircraft, but it is freaking awesome. Las Vegas is over there. Alright, 28,000. I believe we have air brakes on here too. And again, and also fuel dump looks like this with the fuel system off as well. Just a little spray of the nozzle without the afterburner. If you like the afterburner, then that's when you'll get the igniter. See? So you want to remember to light it. It has a big air brake underneath here, which is really cool. Let's see. And of course your bomb bay doors, which are, where's your bomb bay doors? Right here. That's where you keep your nuclear weapons, I guess. I like the animation too, really cool. I think that master caution is us with too much fuel lost here. There's an airstrip there we'll be landing at. So I'm just gonna brake here, and we'll take these back off. It does have pretty good handling as far as braking. Alright, we're a little bit high, a little bit fast. Oh, we should be alright. I'm gonna follow this down here. This is not Las Vegas, but we're gonna land here just to kind of give a little bit of a shorter video. A really cool aircraft. Let me get some of that sunlight out of here for us. There we go. really good handling. Even at low speeds, it's relatively smooth. So, I forgot to tell you guys too, you gotta make sure your wings are locked when you're flying, and then also when you're landing, you want to make sure that you keep your, like when you're taking off, you want to keep your flaps up before you can retract the wings. I forgot to do that. That's why the wings were not working. So, and again, I think your ground handling, your nose steering is off again, so I just have to click that button. It will turn green, indicating that you can steer again. When you're landing, it's going to automatically reset when you're on your landing, and the nose wheel steering is going to be stiff and flat for your high-speed landing. Once you're back on the ground, you click that button right here, and then you'll see a green light, and you'll be able to use your nose wheel steering to get back to the hangar or wherever you just landed, or whatever you want to do on the ground. A little bit of a pro tip for you. Alright, here we are, guys. We made it to some top secret Air Force base, and yeah, this is the F-111, a beautiful aircraft. I'll show you some liveries and final details of the aircraft, but it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. I think it's a good aircraft to know and learn, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Alright, let's hit the brakes here. And let's start shutting down this engine here. Pull the power back, and these come to the off position. I don't know if I can get them both to come off. I had an issue with it. Should be off. So it does have a shut-off procedure as well, if you guys want to go through that. I'm probably not going to do it in this position, but navigational lights and all that other rest of the stuff you want to turn off. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to run the fuel out. So, but yeah, it's not bad. A really cool aircraft. I'm sure there's a better way to shut it down than what I just did, but I'm not 100% sure how. So, really, really cool aircraft though. Highly recommend it. Definitely worth the money. And yeah, I love it. If you guys don't have it, I would definitely suggest getting it, you know. Alright, let's take a look at, oh yeah, okay, so we'll turn off the battery too. We'll take a look at the main menu real quick here and show you a couple liveries and different ones, and then we'll wrap this video up. So, here is some of the liveries that come with it. It has a cruising speed of 482 knots, 6,600 max altitude, 5 hours of duration, 3,212 nautical miles, and as you can see here, it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different liveries. They got the prototype one, the U.S. Air Force one. They have a lot of the Australian liveries for the military over there as well. So really cool aircraft indeed. I really like it. I'm highly impressed with it. I think it's one to pick up for sure and put into the hangar. Okay, well, let me know what you guys think about this aircraft in the comments below. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace. Bye now.